Playing against the London Broncos last September, an injury that at one stage looked as though it was going to end his career, and Leeds will certainly welcome him back to the pack. Andy Farrell sitting alongside me. I should imagine you've come across him once or twice, Andy.
I have, yeah. He's a very strong player, and I'm sure Leeds will be very glad to have him back.
They'll also be glad to get that Neil Harmon try on the board.
They will, yeah. They didn't start off too well. The Warrington centres were ripping them apart down the left-hand side. The Warrington centres are both running straight, whereas Leeds were going sideways, but they look like they settled down to a bit of a pattern now, and hopefully they can come good in the second half, Leeds.
Andy Farrell on the sideline with Bill watching Toa Love duck under the challenge and put in a beautiful pass to Hanari, but what a tackle then from Dean Clark. Here goes Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe gets it away to Harris, who hammers the ball over to this side of the field, but it comes out on the full.
Well, he won't be happy with that.
And so early in the tackle count too.
I don't know what option, whether he just lost the marbles completely, but it was another great break by Toa Love, and what a beautiful pass here over the top. Kemp went with a swinging arm, but great defence from Clark. It had to be as well. Well, Richard Hanari and Love, they're combining well, and with Houston Harris coming up from the full-back position, they're creating all sorts of problems in this Leeds defence.
So Love, beautiful break from him and a lovely pass round the corner, but it's Leeds who are in possession here, and certainly, even though they were 12-0 down, you got the feeling they were never really out of this, and that try from Neil Harmon has really given them a big lift. Hassan with that run across field, and here now is Morley, and they aren't out of it, and they're gradually getting back into it. 54% to 46% Leeds in terms of possession. A little kick through the gap by Holroyd, and it means that Harris must field it, and there's people waiting. Whoa. And Harris passes in goal to Forster, and Forster couldn't get out of the in-goal area either. That'll be a dropout underneath their own post.
That was a great kick and
pressure
chase
from Leeds.
Oh, tremendous kick and chase. But why on earth did Houston Harris try this? They're leading 12-6. You do not try to commit suicide in this fashion. I thought for one moment that Forster was going to do the same thing. But you talk about the Leeds revival. Well, I think their coach, Dean Bell, certainly got the message across when he dragged off Barry McDermott after giving away that silly penalty. He said, get off. We can do without that. We want to get back into the game. And that's the reason, I'm sure, that he brought on SNA for Milo.
Kick downfield, drops into the arms of Lee Mayer from underneath his own crossbar by the Warrington defender, Yestin Harris. Holroyd tackled by Hume and Sculthorpe. It wasn't Holroyd, I beg your pardon, it was Hassan. And that's Sini Faimilo. And Steve-O, has he visited your barber?
No, mine's copyright, I'm afraid. Is it a little bit different? But a good run again. Holroyd, Leeds are building in confidence, but they've got to use the kick. That's the way that they've been getting through this defence.
Their supporters who have travelled over here to be with them tonight are starting to really get behind their team. Dean Clark gives the ball on the blind side to Mercer, and that's good defence.
Great
the
cover
turnover,
defence.
it's on the last tackle.
Tremendous cover defence, they went to it. But it was a nice move on the blind side, but they were not going to kid this very strong Warrington defence. Look at that. 3 men piled on Mercer. And that is equal to the task. Look at that, they're eager now.
Now here's Forster. Forster still. Better tackle that time from Mayer, but it was in his the Warrington half of the field. Here's Harris. Harris, oh, and Holroyd went for the interception, and at that stuck, it was a try. Because remember, Harris is the fullback.
He read it well. You could see that Harris dummied first, and that just gave Holroyd the chance to take the step forward. Couldn't just drag it in. But well read, and a sigh of relief on the face of Houston Harris, who knew that he'd dummied once, delayed the pass, and nearly paid the price.
Mick Forshaw comes on for Leeds, and he has replaced George Mann. So Dean Bell certainly making the changes. So too is John Dorahy. And there's Forshaw. Wakefield's captain from the last time he played for Wakefield Trinity, and Wigan as well in his curriculum vitae. Knee injury apparently for Jones has meant that Stott is on. This is Hilton, the other prop forward.
Well, he nearly made it.
The ball's come free.
That'll be a try.
Hanari claims it, and the referee's given it. It was Cullen, was it, who got to it first? The referee says he plays advantage. Cullen, I think, was the man, and not Hanari, who got it. And Cullen was sniffing round the back as that play broke up. And he's the man who's come up with the four-pointer.
What a run from the prop forward, Mark Hilton. You talk about second effort. He just refused to give it away. And I think this ball was reefed away by Marvin Golden. And Cullen, the Warrington skipper, gets to the ball. Beautiful slip back on the inside. Bang, get out of the way. Mercer couldn't get to him. They're going far too high on the big prop forward. But what a great effort. Now watch the ball being reefed out by Golden. It's picked up by the skipper. And what a time to get your first Super League try.
Paul Cullen enjoyed that. He's leading the side well, despite the fact that his reign as captain got off to a horror start in the centenary season. Referee just calls time off while Iestyn Harris prepares to take this conversion. Paul Cullen showing the determination that John Dorahy demands out there on the field from his captain and from his team. There is the Warrington coach, done a fine job since he arrived here. And Cullen with the try, Harris now with the conversion. Well, he's not missed anything tonight so far. Iestyn Harris with the boot. And the 12-point lead is restored, 18 points to 6.
Player A uses a dummy and player B back on the same line. It is absolutely superb play. Bang, they went far too high. Mercer got out of the way. The fullback did likewise. This is wonderful second effort. Golden reefs it away. It could have been a penalty. There was more than one man. He allowed the advantage. Stuart Cummins says, get over there. Well done, Cullen. What a time to score.
Here's Mike Forshaw. Sculthorpe downstairs with the tackle. And Paul Hume doing the job around the waist. That's Harmon. He takes the tackle from Cullen.
Well, that's really lifted the Warrington skipper's ego, hasn't it? He was into the tackle there. They all getting involved. He nearly got the ball back on that occasion.
That was great play, though, by Faimilo. He put the pass in. It bounced off a Warrington player. And Faimilo, lying flat on his back, picked the ball up again for Leeds to retain possession.
Well, there you see Cullen got a fingertip to it. And as Eddie said, Faimilo working hard. Well, Leeds are desperate now to get points on the board before the half-time break. But isn't it great, Eddie, to see this Warrington attack? Oh, that was forward by a mile.
Play on, says the referee. Didn't see it.
Well, the crowd don't like it, and neither do I. I don't think Warrington will be too impressed.
They won't if they score from this. This is Lee Mayer. He takes the tackle.
Look at this here. See Forshaw, dearie me.
Tony Kemp.
But just getting back to that fact is that isn't it great to see this Warrington side using dummy runners, unselfish running, and creating the gap for other people.
Referee has called a lost ball against Leeds. Knock on. Scrum will go down, head and feed to Warrington.
And you see Kemp, as soon as he made the impact on the ground, lost control of it. Kemp claiming to Stuart Cummins, the referee, that it was dragged away, but it wasn't. It was just the impact. As soon as he hit terra firma, the ball came free.
Now Henari. David Hume with one tackle there. Sculthorpe. No, it's Coe Love, beg pardon. The sun's in our eyes as well tonight. Now Forster and Cullen again. Good tackle though by Neil Harmon. John Roper is limping in back play. Harris thought about the pass to his Welsh teammate Jones, held on, then got it away to Cullen. Cullen goes through Mercer but doesn't make any more progress.
Well, it was scrappy play there by Warrington. It was good thinking by the skipper Cullen. He wanted to slow things down so they could set up for the kick, but it's a bit too far. Mayer picked it off easy.
Nice take by the fullback. Played so well against Wigan a couple of weeks ago, Lee Mayer. Here's Marvin Golden. Good run from Golden. Mercer.
Well, at this point in time, they've got to look towards Tony Kemp to weave some magic. Combination of Kemp and Holroyd has been working over the last couple of weeks. He's a classy player, Kemp, with all the experience in the world.
Here he is, gets the ball away to Morley, who was immediately clattered by Coe Lover. I know that Leeds are losing against Stevo, but it's a much better performance than we saw when they played Bradford recently on Sky Sports. That's a great chase from Hassan to bundle Harris out of the field of play. But it's a much more committed performance, this.
Sure is. It couldn't get any worse, really. But to be fair about that game at Bradford, the first 20 minutes, Leeds were firing on all cylinders. They were doing this, the kick and chase, and Hassan did well then, applied the pressure. The kick is only as good as the chasers. Look at that. Tremendous stuff. And now Leeds desperate to launch an attack.
And they're doing so with Dean Clark. They are 8 metres short of the Warrington posts. What would they give for a try right up towards half-time? But they won't get it. That was a crunch tackle on Mercer, and the ball just spilled from him.
Mercer trying to twist in the tackle to get the ball back on the inside. He had the runner as well, but the impact knocked it clean. There's been some bone crunches from this Warrington defence. Bang, look at that. Talk about putting your shoulder to the hard work.
Warrington have it back. Good defence from Golden and Carl Hall. Just stopped Richard Henare. Roper, well, he might have been limping, but he doesn't look as though he's in any immediate danger of going off. Harris now puts boot to ball. Good kick from Harris. Golden's there though. This will be the zero tackle. Golden will run it back at the Warrington defence. Now the tackle count will start from 1 to 6.
Another good chase, this time by Warrington. See how they envelop the winger, Marvin Golden. It was a wonderful kick over the top of the winger from Houston Harris. He's back to his best in the kicking game in open play.
Just seconds less than 2 minutes to go to half-time. Clark to Holroyd to Tony Kemp. Tony Kemp to Carl Hall. Carl Hall further wide to Golden. Marvin Golden, the try against Workington. And the ball was stolen from him, one-on-one, perfectly legal. Roper doing well. Cullen grounded by his opposite number, Adrian Morley.
Oh, that was a real gamble there. Willie Swan just had a rush of blood then, tried to get the ball out wide, and Dean Clark got the fingertips to it. Oh, well, that's the second occasion that Leeds nearly picked up an intercept. About 10 minutes before this, Holroyd nearly picked one off from Harris. Clark was nearly over too.
Last minute of this first half, Sculthorpe over the halfway line. Good tackling by Clark again, and Forshaw.
Well, Cullen will be telling his charges just to settle it down, don't risk it. That's better from Harris. Let's just eat up the clock.
Rudd saw there was no one behind the man coming in to mark him. It's a good kick as well from Rudd. Mayer was brave. He picked it up, and what's more, he's come in field, gets the pass away also. Good play. And again, Mercer. Leeds keeping this ball alive, and Mercer through the gap. Gary Mercer. It had to be a good tackle back, and it was. And it was Richard Henare but he's slipped Golden this time. Golden is dancing around, looking, waiting for support. None forthcoming. 10 seconds from half-time.
Tremendous play from Leeds. All started from the full-back Lee Mayer, keeping it alive. Oh, dearie me. Applied the pressure to them. Chris Rudd went forward, but they did do well, didn't they, up to that point.
Mike Forshaw with the header. He slipped, and it just bounced off his forehead, and the danger was gone. The first half is gone, and Warrington are ahead by 18 points to 6. They've run in 3 tries. Neil Harmon, after 26 minutes, gave Leeds so much hope, but then Paul Cullen came back and restored Warrington's 12-point advantage. An advantage that they had built jealously, courtesy of Roper with 2 tries. And Roper goes off for a highly deserved half-time break as Warrington lead by 18 points to 6 here at Wilderspool.
We're being bombed.
Looks like our boy's a mystery man.
He's no mystery. Named Ryan Garrity.
I've come here to create a new country for you. It's called chaos.
I'm gonna shut him down.
Blown Away, the British TV premiere, 10 o'clock Saturday on the Movie Channel.
Relax. There is a computer company that makes things simple. Gateway 2000 are successful in America, and now they're here. Every Gateway 2000 PC includes the Intel Pentium processor. Call Gateway 2000 on 0800 90 2000. You've got a friend in the business.
Warning from Thompson's Waterproofing. Water could be attacking your brickwork right now.
Stop it with Thompson's Water Seal. It's this easy. It forms a waterproof barrier so rain can't damage your bricks.
Spend a few quid on Thompson's or it could be a few hundred on repairs. Thompson's Water Seal and Thompson's Roof Seal. Buy now. Don't pay later.
New Instant Scratch Syndicate card in tomorrow's Daily Mirror. 3 free goes to win in the National Lottery, plus 6 new £50,000 scratch cards, only with a 30p Daily Mirror, tomorrow.
I think it's all over. It is now.
The new Rover 200.
Looking for a holiday? Then pick up the paper with the biggest selection. It's smart to start with Dalton's Weekly, on sale now.
Good work by Stretch. Support infield, still Stretch.
Felix. Felix, come on.
Well,
oh,
back a
all
good
right.
turn by Hamer. Holly in the centre. A goal!
Oh, Felix!
Cats like Felix.
Not a bad game in the sunshine here at Wilderspool. Warrington ahead by 18 points to 6 at half-time. The 2 tries from John Roper, 1 from Paul Cullen. Yeston Harris has kicked impeccably. And Harmon and Holroyd, the point scorers for Leeds. Plenty to catch the eye, plenty to talk about. A decision from the video ref that went against Warrington early on, but they put that disappointment behind them and they pushed on for a half-time scoreline of 18-6 and a 12-point lead. Andy Farrell of Wigan, England and Great Britain, is with us in the studio tonight. And Andy, a terrific contest between these two. Leeds looked like they were back in it, and then Cullen's try.
Yeah, it was a very good try for Warrington just before the half-time break, and I'm sure Leeds will struggle to get back in this game now.
From the touchline where you've been watching with Bill Arthur, the intensity, the speed of it, it's terrific.
It is, yeah. There's some big tackles going on in this game, especially early on, off the Warrington pack especially. And both teams started off very enthusiastic, but I think Warrington did get the better of Leeds in this left-hand centre here, and I'm sure that Dean Bell will have a few words to say about the right and defence of the Leeds team.
You know, of course, Dean Bell as well as anybody. I mean, he's a champion. How do you think he will be reacting to the way that Leeds are going at the moment, the fact that they're third bottom of the table? It's uncharted territory for him, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure Dean's never been in that situation before, but it's all new to him, and, you know, it's his first year of coaching, so, you know, it's something which he'll go on from now, and hopefully he'll learn from.
I'm sure he will. Well, there was that disappointment, as I said, for Warrington early on, courtesy of the video referee. Steve-O, the modern technology proved again it's absolutely priceless. You've got to be right.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least they're consistent. We mentioned last couple of weeks ago when Smith from Castleford did exactly the same thing. It just left his hand. He loses control just about here. You can see how it leaves the palm, but then he gets control before it hits the ground. Obviously deemed these days as not having control of the football. So if they keep it that way, then we've got no problems. If they start changing their mind, then we've got a lot of problems.
It would have been easy at that point for Warrington's heads to drop, wouldn't it? Because that was, what, about 2 or 3 minutes, tried disallowed, but to their credit, they kept on going.
Yeah, I think that John Dorrie will be quite disappointed that he hasn't got more points on the board, because they're pointing their attack at Carl Hall, who's not the best defender in the world. Dean Clark is doing a lot of work, but Dean Clark is going in first, and then Carl Hall is often being caught out on his own. And it's the way that they're switching their attack, Warrington, with the fact they've got Anari, Coe Love, and then, of course, they bring in Houston Harris in from full-back. Not as a chimer into the three-quarter line, but as a positional man to draw and then pass the football.
Well, Warrington were 12 points to the good, and then a former Warrington man, Neil Harmon, stepped in and took a hand, Steve-O.
Well, we always thought that Tony Kemp would be the man to change sort of things, and this switch back on the inside, and he would just roll it through. Now, if you hold it, keep the ball alive from there, and this is where they get the ball out, into Kemp. And it's the first time, really, that Warrington were left in a situation where the defence was all at sea. If we hold it there, that situation, this man goes through. I think it was Coe Love that went in. And look at all this area here for the big prop forward. It was the one occasion that Warrington were caught very shallow. Coe Love, who, as we mentioned, have been playing centre, standoff position all through the first half. It has been confusing them, but I'm afraid on that occasion, he missed his man. He went in, and Kemp is perhaps the only man on the Leeds side that will probably come to it. But what a great play from the big fella. 2 dummy runners, unselfish running on the first run, back on the inside. And the big fella, Hilton, he just really did show wonderful strength, second effort. Golden rips the ball away. And good refereeing here. This is wonderful to see from Stuart Cummings, because Cummings knew that it could have been a penalty for reefing the ball out by Golden, but he did the right thing. He played the advantage. Cullen picked it up. The Leeds defence was just stood around. He tried his best at Golden because it was a 3-man tackle. He thought he'd get away with it, but Cummings was in a great position, and it was a fair try.
And Warrington ahead at half-time by 18 points to 6. What will Dean be saying to his players now, Andy, do you think?
I'm sure Dean will be saying to his players we need to score first in this second half, because I think if they don't score first, the game's out of their reach, so Leeds will be coming out fired up in this second half early on.
They've got to get the first points on the board, haven't they?
They do, yeah. I mean, if Warrington score, I'm sure that this Warrington side is playing very well at the moment with a lot of enthusiasm, and I don't think they'll let a big lead like that slip.
Well, the one thing you can say about both these sides is they're providing some enthusiasm, the both of them. Certainly Leeds, compared to when we saw them against Bradford, remember, a lot more determination out there. But will it be enough in the second half? Find out by staying exactly where you are, because we have the second 40 minutes coming up now, right after this break. John Roper, though, the story just goes on. Knee reconstruction and his second try here tonight, which has helped Warrington to that half-time situation. But who's going to win its second half? Stay there.
I wanted to surprise you. When you walk through the global village, make sure you carry a global currency. Over 200 million people in over 200 countries speak MasterCard.
Pizza delivery.
Back up.
Every language speaks MasterCard.
Enjoy the great long-lasting taste of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. The refreshing minty taste goes on and on. And on and on. Try the cool, refreshing taste of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. The flavour lasts.
It's all over. It is now.
The new Rover 200.
Sir, our sources tell us you sent a very interesting email to a colleague at the university.
Aye, that I did.
Quote, she appears at 9 every morning, a beast in the waves. It's hideous. I need help, unquote.
We are that help, sir.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm so cut off here. If it wasn't for the Vodafone digital network being able to send and receive email through my wee laptop here, I'd be stuck here alone with her. I can't stand it much longer.
Don't worry, sir. We'll clear this up. It's 9 o'clock.
Any second now. Ah! Morag McCleaning lady. Once you get rid of her, you can start with the washing up.
We'll just have to keep on looking.
The Vodafone network. You are not alone.
Fast-moving Super League action returns to the Valley Sunday. As a confident London side are back on home soil.
London #1.
In a clash with the Halifax Blue Sox that's sure to get the pulse racing.
Super drive.
And the Broncos are looking for a big crowd to cheer them on.
Super League, the way ahead.
The London Broncos against Halifax on Sunday at 6, live and exclusive on Sky Sports 2.
Glorious night here at Wilderspool, and a good-sized crowd inside this stadium watching Warrington lead Leeds by 18 points to 6. And Warrington at this stage on course for recording the double against Leeds, something they haven't done for 4 years. But Graham Holroyd and company, Phil Hassan, and in the background particularly Tony Kemp, these are the players that Dean Bell will look to try and turn this match round and turn it back their way. Losing becomes a habit as well as winning, and unfortunately it's a habit that Leeds have been in far too often this season. Try scorer Paul Cullen leads his men onto the field for the second effort. 40 minutes remain between Warrington and the victory as they push for at least a place in the top 4. Paul Cullen, such a servant to this club. His first ever try actually came against Leeds at Headingley. Dean Bell makes his way to his place in the stands, and alongside him, sitting down to his right, your left, is Hugh McGann. That's the coaching duo at Headingley these days.